Hello everyone, I am Rahul. Welcome to my YouTube channel RTech. In this video, I am going to discuss about the delegates. But before we get started with the delegate, let me just quickly explain you what are all the topics, what are all the playlists I am going to upload on this YouTube channel. So I am going to upload a complete web application project on this YouTube channel, and for that we will be using MS SQL Server for our database. We will be using .NET for our backend, where we will be developing data access layer using C and EF code. Along with that, we will also be creating a services using ASP.NET Web API, and we will consume that Web API, that services, into our React and Angular presentation layer. So we will be creating a presentation layer in both React and Angular. So by the end of this complete playlist, you will be able to work with MS SQL, C Angular, React, everything. But before uploading that particular playlist, I will also be uploading a separate playlist where I will be covering the topics that will be helpful, that will be necessary actually for working into that particular project. Okay, so overall I will be uploading two different playlists, one for the project and one for the topics that are going to be required to work into the project. Okay, apart from that, I will also be uploading the videos on Power BI, where we will be accessing data from different data sources like SQL, like SQL Server, Excel sheet, Google Sheet, CSV files, and we will be converting that raw data into interactive visual dashboards. So by the end of this playlist, you will be able to convert the raw data into interactive dashboards. Okay, so now let's get started with our delegates, the today's topic. Okay, so to understand the delegates, I have already created a class that is delegate. Okay, I have also created three methods, which is add, subtract, and modulus division. Okay, so to invoke these methods, we can simply create the object of this class and we can call these methods. Fine. But in this video, we are not going to do that. In this video, we are going to invoke these methods using the delegates. Okay, so to use the delegates, we need to follow three steps. We need to declare the delegates, we need to instantiate the delegates, and then we need to invoke the delegates. By invoking the delegates means we are invoking the methods present into this particular class. Okay, now by invoking the delegates, first of all, we have to learn what are all the methods written inside this class will come under the delegates, right? So for that, we have to declare a delegate first. So let me declare the delegates. So this I am writing public as the access specifier. Now I am writing delegate keyword that denotes the delegate, public delegate. Now I will write the return type of the delegates, which is I'm writing int. Okay, now I will give the name of this delegate. Let me write it as math delegate, because we are doing mathematical calculation like add, subtract, and modulus division. So I'm writing math delegate. Now I will write the argument, which is I'm writing at int a comma int b. Fine. So this is the declaration of this particular delegate. We have to see that the return type is int and the data type of the arguments are int and int. Okay, now let's see the methods that are written inside this particular class. We have written three methods. The return type of this add is int, return type of subtract is int, return type of modulus is int. Okay, and return type of this delegate is also int. So the return type of all these methods are same as that of the delegates. Fine. Now the argument of this math delegate is int and same goes for all these three methods. So the return type and the data types of the arguments and the number of arguments for the delegates and for the methods are same, which means the signature of delegates and the methods are same. So now we can see that all these three methods will come under the delegates, means we can invoke all these three methods using these delegates. Fine. Now suppose we have another methods written in this class, which is int public string, okay, suppose name, and which is int a comma int b, fine, which is returning as suppose Rahul. Let's see. See, this method is returning a string, but if you see the return type of the delegate is int, means the signature of this delegate and this method is not matching. So this method does not come under the delegates, means this method cannot be invoked using the delegates. Okay, so the signature should match, means the return type, number of arguments, and the data type of the arguments should be same. So all these three methods will come under the delegates, but this method will not come under the delegate. Okay, now the first step is done, which is declaration of the delegate. Now we need to instantiate the delegate. Okay, so let's see how we will instantiate the delegate. So for instantiating the delegate, I will write the code in our program.cs. This is a delegate class and this is our program.cs class, which will contain the main, and everything will be called from there. So now I will create an object of delegate. Okay, the delegate type is, delegate name is math delegate, so I will simply create a variable of type math delegate. Okay, so math delegate, right? So this is math delegate. I am creating an object m object, fine. So I have created an object m object of math delegate type. Now this object can be assigned with the method name that are present into this class. Along with that, which signature are matching with the delegates. So we can assign this add, this subtract, and this modulus division to this m object, right? So for assigning that, let us create an object of the class delegate, right? So delegate, and I'm writing d object, fine. So I have created an object of the delegate class. Now we can assign that m object value with the method name present inside this delegate class matching the delegate signature. So if you type here d object, okay, sorry, if you type dot, you will get the options like add. Okay, so suppose I am assigning this m object with the method name add. We can access this add method by creating an object of this delegate class. That's why I am creating this t object, and then I am assigning this add method to the same object, fine. So this is the instantiation of the delegate. So two steps we have covered: what? The declaration of the delegates and the instantiation of the delegates. Now we have to invoke the delegates. Let's see what happens when we invoke the delegates. Suppose I am writing at m object, fine. Now we have to be careful. See, the argument of this particular delegate is int, so we have to pass two value inside this m object. Let's see 10, let's see 15 comma 10, fine. Okay, so that's it. We have covered all these three steps to work for with a delegate, that is declaration of the delegate, fine, instantiation of delegate, and also the invoke, also we have invoked the delegate. So now if I run this project, let's see what happens. Okay, so we can see that adding to integer means this method is called, that's why we are getting adding to integer, fine. And this method is also returning a plus b, right? So if we console this, if we print this, if we print this, we will get it like 25. Let's see, you can see we are getting 25, means we have successfully invoked the method add method present into that particular class delegate. Fine, by using the delegates. Fine. Now we can also assign this delegate object with other methods present into delegate class. Okay, let's see how we can do that. Suppose m object is equal to, if we write d object dot, we can also suppose we are writing as subject. Okay, we are passing at 15 comma 10. Fine, wait just a minute. Sorry, d object dot dot subject. Okay, so we have assigned this. Now we want to invoke that m object. Okay, with the same value 15 comma 10. Okay, let's see what is the output. So to see the output, we have to write it inside the console, right? Okay, let's see what happens when we execute this file. So you can see that this time add is called and this is returning 25. Again the subject is called and this is returning 5, right? So we have assigned with different value. Now suppose we are commenting these two lines. Okay, we are commenting only this console. Fine. So we have assigned this m object with add. Now again we have assigned this m object with subject. Let's see what happens. So this time you can see that only subject method, means the last method is called, right? Only the last method has been called, means this method. This method is not called even if we have assigned this value with add. We have assigned this delegate object with add method as well. We have assigned this delegate object with the subject method as well, but it is calling only subject method, means the last method. Okay, but what if we want to invoke both the methods using the same delegate object? Okay, simultaneously. Okay, so to do that we can do this. Let me comment this. Okay, so suppose m object is equal to d object dot add. Fine. Now what we have to do, that m we have to write like this: m object plus equal to d object dot subject. Now if you do so, and now if you, okay, if you do so, then we can invoke both the method add and subject together. Let's see what happens in this. So adding two integer, subtracting two integer, means we have invoked this method as well as this method, right? Yeah, we have invoked both the methods, but we are only getting output as 5, means the return value is coming from the last method assigned. Okay, so both the method is called, but the return value is from the last method. Okay, so this way we can use the same delegate object for the for invoking two different methods or many number of methods. We can use the same object for invoking the different methods. Okay, so this is all about the delegates, how to declare it, how to instantiate it, and how to invoke it. In the next video, we will be covering many other things in the delegate. So take care till then. Goodbye.